effect for Charlie. Forward and draw the sword. Forward and up and rally.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Scottish campaign. So, last time around, or perhaps I should say the year is 1746, the summer of 46, and I've been able to stabilize all the conquered territories so that I can now move on to the European holdings that the Ottomans hold. What I'm planning to do is to leave Istanbul, Romania, for the last, and instead I'm going to go ahead and attack all the others first. Usually I find that capital regions usually get more resistance to occupation, and if you take the capital first and then the capital is moved, then you have to face that sort of debuff like every time the enemy capital moves. So we're gonna do it that way. Also, I'm kind of hoping that they're gonna be able to regroup and actually build a proper force, because right now I'm not seeing anything that would actually be worth of a battle to play for any of my 40 stacks. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and pick up the armies. So I'm gonna go ahead and detach this ship right here. We're gonna pick up Ross Adderton. Russ is going to move through here, and he's gonna be landed right here, move through and attack Bulgaria. And then we've got Glenn Kerr, and he's gonna move through with this one, and he's actually gonna land up here, and then he and Kirk Cohen will be moving through towards Transylvania and the Galician region all the way up there. Actually, he can go into all of it, can he not? I built a fort right there called Find Later. The old Find Later fort that Kirk Cohen built. We're gonna go ahead and transfer that army there. We're gonna put the fleet together once they're ready. Oh yeah, I need to block. Actually, I can put them together right now because they still block, but just to make sure, I'm gonna move the Crafty Razolka over, and they'll be enough to block that. This army will land over here, cross in attack, then this fleet will join the fleet over here, because I'm hoping that while these armies are attacking these four provinces, this army that I've built here under Craig Dermond, he is gonna march up and take Croatia. One thing I should already now prepare is there'll still be, I think, quite a bit of quite high cultural unrest, because apparently I get the same kind of cultural debuff from the Slavic nations as I get from the sort of Muslim people groups. I think comparatively we suffered quite low amount of cultural unrest from the English, so I think it's meant like we are closer to them. However, we are a lot further away from the Slavics and the sort of Muslim populations, so we get a lot higher cultural unrest for these. This one was captured quite a long time ago, and it's down to 15. It was like 22 or something like that when I took it, so it's very high unhappiness there. Actually, what I'll do, I'll see about having this one start its march already, so at the start of next turn we'll be able to attack. Now, because we'll move quite far and there's a lot to be moved and stuff, it will there will be a lot of end turns, and I'm gonna have to find a way to do that. Probably the episode where there's going to be the most end turns done as we slowly move our way through here. The road network is very poor, except for Transylvania. The vampires, they can pay for themselves. So they got really good roads up there. But otherwise, you see that the Ottomans have neglected the road systems all over the place, where there's dirt roads going through it all. Also, before we go ahead and start all of this, I should say that I have read Youngbun's comments about going against the Spanish and the French at the same time, and I actually think it's a good idea. It probably would have been easier for me to try and isolate these two wars, but I feel like after sort of the war against the English, and in large part the Indians, we didn't or my conquest of India, we haven't really had that much of a challenge, besides right in the beginning and then perhaps some there in India. So I think it would be very interesting to have then, just like he said, like the larger war where I sort of have to go around putting out fires everywhere. Perhaps even increasing it to an even larger conflict where we sort of intentionally make it into some sort of a world war where I ally with Sweden and Prussia, and we'll see if like every big empire like two coalitions of the greatest empires go together. I don't think that I will be getting much help from the Prussians or the Swedes, but I think it would be interesting, perhaps somewhere that I might end up with, you know, a little bit aid from one of them or so in a battle. With that said, we're going to go ahead and end our first turn, and then we'll try as quickly as possible to move through this, capture all of it, come back, and then hopefully the Ottomans have gone ahead and rallied some kind of force in the capital that could at least be somewhat of a force to stand up to one of my 40 stacks. Also, perhaps important, which I probably should have started every episode with, is to declare whether or not the king is still alive. The king is now 20 years old, and besides the original traits, he's got a landscape gardener, which is actually a bad trait. It gives minus happiness to lower classes, 2+ to the nobility, which you don't really need, because when have you ever had the nobility end up revolting against you? And then 10+ cost to constructing farm buildings. So it becomes, I mean, 10% can be quite a lot. Now, it's not that much of a problem because I'm intentionally getting rid of all farm buildings after all the villages have been developed in a region. There's a massive, the massive evil Scottish Empire where we intentionally starving the rest of the world to just repopulate the world with just Scottish people. Right, and so with our evil conquest, we will continue now by claiming what's left of the sick man of Europe, the Ottomans. Workers on strike in Armenia, I thought I had that covered. Also, we got buildings, we got cotton plantations, and all I have to do, I think, is just exempt them from tax, and that's fine. We'll go ahead and land the army. It's also important now to say that in preparation of this huge clash of forces that we're looking at, I've gone ahead and actually put regular tax on for all my areas, more or less. So now we're making about 70,000 per turn. Although because I've had low taxes, wealth have been able to expand rapidly in all areas. So for once in Empire, and especially since I've progressed through basically the half of 1700, it's quite unusual that I have such a lot higher tax income than I have trade income. Right, and then we have Kirk Cohen. It's going to be crossing there, and then Glenn Kerr is going to follow after, and you're going to attack there. And now this army is just one turn away from taking this. And then what we'll do is we'll move this one forward, so that once we're able to take this, I'll dispatch the cavalry, push them out, and the navy will go in and sink them. Having a few spies moving around, taking a look at the situation. But other than that, I've made my moves. Let's go ahead and end turn. Right, Ross moves through the woods here and is stopped just short of that. We've got a Austrian full stack. I'm hoping they take care of this so I don't have to. So these forces will continue their march through here, and then they will go for Serbia, and then one will divert to Transylvania. Meanwhile, this force, Craig Drummond, is ready to strike here. Let's go ahead and out-resolve. Boom! Croatia is mine. I don't need to build Croatian cannons. I'm gonna build up the road network. Maybe I should... All the villages are not developed here, so yes, we will in fact go ahead and build that out. We're gonna build up everything. And with all of that, we're gonna dispatch cavalry, force the enemy navy out, and then move back here to the army. Go ahead and replenish everyone, and make sure that we are able to hold this. What I'll do is, I've got all these yeomanry cavalry. It's gonna come up here, and they're gonna help with keeping this area under control. I'm gonna get more of them ready to be sent out to help controlling Serbia as well once we take that. This means the fleet can now move up and destroy the Ottoman fleet. They have more ships than us, but as you can see, it's all utter trash. They're all lacking guns and crew. I don't know, the AI never replenishes its ships. The strongest ship they have is a 40-gun frigate, the Murad Hazan. But besides that, it's all basically fire ships, actually. It's going to be interesting to see how the AI uses them. Perhaps they can be able... I very much doubt they will be able to push through and do any kind of damage to me. But you never know. You never know. And here's the result of the battle. We deployed 17 ships. We have 17 ships remaining. The enemy deployed 19. They lost 12. They lost 12. We killed 9. And 7 of their ships were captured. Now, I'm quite surprised that the Ceres, or Ceres, I don't know how you would pronounce that. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that's isn't that a Roman god? Or goddess. I'm pretty sure, playing Caesar 3. I'm pretty sure you pay homage to that god. Anyways, this ship, right as I won the battle, this ship was fully aflamed just before it like explodes, where all the sails and masts and everything sort of catch on fire. So it was just about to explode completely, and as you can see by the number of crew, most of the men had jumped off. So I was just about to lose this ship, but then the game ended and I guess the fire was put out. So the ship survived, which I'm very lucky for, because it was just few more seconds. If the battle had continued a few more seconds, it exploded. It was taken out by a ship exploding next to it. Now you would think, because the enemy deployed like 5 or 6 fire ships, that would be the cause of it. No, it was actually I would say this, every single one of the fire ships exploded, but it was not a fire ship that blew up. It was a galley or some similar ship that exploded right next to this one. There was another ship as well that caught on fire for a little bit because a fire ship exploded close to it, but it didn't sink. It was one of the larger ones, one of the 90 gun ships. I can't remember which one of them it was, but I didn't lose a lot. Anyways, I'll definitely get enough money to repair the ship. 6,800 caught from that. So yeah, this one lost 190 crew, the abandoned ship, but it clearly killed 2 enemy ships. So it put up some good work, but Good Hope seems to be the one that gained the most battle experience, as it also killed 2 ships, while only losing 38 crew. I don't know how this works, because the Rose also sunk 2 ships, but I'm not entirely sure why he didn't get that much. Could be the fire ships, perhaps. Don't know. Anyways, we got some money out of that, and we can go to port. It cost me 4,000 to replenish them, so we made 2,000 from that battle. Very good. And that was the end of it, yes. So, end turn, consolidate here, and then by the start of next turn, I should be able to perhaps attack Serbia, and definitely attack Bulgaria. Workers on strike in Croatia, no surprise, and kilns to farmlands to kilns. Project continues as the world starves from attention. Right. Cavalry goes in, and now the yeomanry goes in. No rebellion. There's enough troops to hold these Croatians in check. They can no longer eat the coastline of... well, I think we'll actually keep the fishery here, because we do have at least one village undeveloped here. So we'll try and get that up to speed. So I get that, and then we'll turn it all into trade ports. Capitalism, baby. Kerr will go ahead and take Serbia. Go ahead and out-resolve that. Gain some points for the generals as they out-resolve this. And does this one have... Villages are not growing. Alright, we'll expand that then. And then we'll repair these 2, but no cannons in Serbia either. The last thing I want to do is give the Serbians cannons. And then Kirk Cohen moves north, ready to strike at the Transylvanians, and then we have even more of these yeomanry being recruited. Right, oh yeah, before we go ahead and turn, I need to take Bulgaria as well. Very small force. Boom, another outer assault. And we are victorious. And what does this have? Undeveloped mines, undeveloped farmland. This one has 2 ports, which are undeveloped, plus 2 villages. So this one, we need to put extra work into to make sure that this one gets those villages growing. The Austrians did not take care of this force, so it looks like I'm gonna have to, at some point here, go ahead and march out and get those. As soon as I can, all these yeomanry should be moved through here so that we can set them up in Transylvania. What I'm hoping is that once Kirk Cohen has taken these 2 provinces, he should be, as soon as possible, marching down south here to deal with the Ottoman capital to be the last fight. The navy is now operational again. There isn't really much for it to do, because we did attack whatever was here. There's no other Ottoman navy out here, so yeah, it just stay in place. Let's go ahead and turn, and then just then focus on Kirk Cohen as he moves through these territories. We're back after the end turn. We're gonna go ahead and claim Transylvania. It's another outer assault, 2,500 defenders against 7,000 of my men. We only lose 500 troops while slaughtering the entire garrison. Drill school, I think not. We're gonna build civic administration here. General of infantry, minus morale for battle, command when leading infantry unit, and the movement range for the troops is increased by 10%. That's actually pretty good. Interestingly enough, we have a religious school that promotes German culture, but then up here in the north, we have one that promotes Turkish culture. The province is actually mostly Hungarian, and because of that, there isn't much cultural unrest. Or it could be that this province is very diverse. 50% Hungarian, 24% Turks, 16 German, and then 2.1 Western Slavic. I'm sure we're going to cram in some Scottish people here as well. We're going to burn these schools. I'm not intending to promote any of those cultures. No villages left. And this one provides 600 wealth though. If I tear it down, what can I build? I could build a ceramics factory, which increases it by 1100, plus it'll gain 6 per turn. That is a no-brainer deal, so we're gonna go ahead and burn that down. I'm also, because right now there's a lot of unhappiness and I need to be able to keep moving, I'm gonna burn down the mine, because the mine gives -3 to industrialization for the lower classes. So I want to be able to keep moving here. And we should go ahead and make sure that every place that can is getting yeomanry cavalry, so I can send them all out and make sure that we can hold the provinces as we turn back. So as you can see, I invaded this area with 4 armies. However, there are more territories than there are armies, so I cannot leave them lingering there, as the first mine though does not give unhappiness, so we'll go ahead and repair that. I notice also I forgot to repair areas here which were burnt, which was not very great. Right. We do have an Ottoman force here, but I'm thinking I'll wait until this one is fully replenished to attack them, just in case. I don't think it will be more than an out-resolve though. And now when I think about it, talking about cannons, we should actually get some of these funny cannons to break down the walls of Constantinople, should we not? Right, let's go ahead and end turn. This time it might be a bigger jump because I need to get a load of these yeomanry cavalry up here so that I can hold this province in place while Kirkcowan goes up and gets the last province up there. To get the Ottomans to actually invest something in their troops down here, looks like their bankruptcy is about to go away. But I think that what I might do is actually hand over them a large sum of cash so we can actually get some kind of a battle going down here, and it's just not another route resolve or just a complete rout for the Ottomans. Let's end turn and continue our warpath. And now to have this army, Ross, Addleton, go out and destroy this force. I don't know what they were doing moving through here, through very impassable terrain. 7,000 men, 7,300 against 2,600. Go ahead and out-resolve that one. We lost 1,200 men, they lost 1,400, so not a conclusive battle, unfortunately. However, I can move quickly back to protect this region before it starts to revolt. And the enemy is pushed straight into this army that can finish it. And we lose 700 men, they lose 1,000, nothing left. Wonderful. Hopefully that also means that those troops will now be recruited in their home province. All the yeomanry cavalry is being now moved towards Transylvania. They'll get another 4 units here and 4 units here. And then I'll have another 6 units coming out here. And they will all be routed towards Transylvania, so that Kirkcowan can move on to Galicia. And the last province falls. Or the next last province. This will be the last. And Kirkcowan is now fighting his way through the snow here to get up to the next area. So he slaughtered these small forces, and then 1 turn away from hitting that. And now I've got a lot of yeomanry cavalry. I've got 24 of them. And they're all stationed here in Transylvania right now, giving me a repression of 20. Hopefully a load of these will be able to be moved out and then set up in Galicia to make sure that we hold that. But with that, let's go ahead and end turn once more. Let's continue our fight. Well, here's a pretty odd fight. I had left 1 ship in control to make sure to strangle the last of the Ottoman trade. And now it's actually getting attacked by the Barbary pirates. I was kind of lucky that it didn't attack the crafty Rosalka, because that would have been an even fight. Now this 56 gun ship has will have a lot easier time dealing with this. Although the crafty Rosalka has a lot about the same firepower, or I think even a little bit better firepower than the 54 gun ship. It's just that it's still shaped like one of the Ottoman ones. Anyways, talking too much about this. Let's go ahead and sink this bastard. I don't know what he was thinking. Not sure what he was thinking there. That was a pretty easy fight and took him captive. Wonderful. We'll sell him for the prize money. And so we push through. Get another one of these stragglers. A single unit. Huh. The bastard managed to cause quite a bit of damage. And it made it so that I couldn't march all the way. Ugh, annoying. He's gonna send out another one of these guys. Surely he is. Ugh, annoying. This place, though, is holding so well that we're actually +2 in public order. That is really well. And people in government is apparently predicted falling down to 5 in unhappiness. So someone got really good traits or something in government. Also, cultural unrest is going to change pretty soon because I am researching people on the Earth. The Earth is round. Secular humanism. That's what we were doing. Right. One thing I would think about, though, is if there's more pirates, there's another one, it might be good to actually send the entire navy up here to protect, to make sure that they don't come and attack, because it's rather stupid. Also, I would like, you know what, rather than sending this cavalry over here, or I'll send... How many units do I need to send? This is just... It's a line unit. I would need... For comfortable out-resolve, I would have 3 units. Go ahead and get rid of him. He keeps moving in between the farmlands, which makes it so the villages doesn't grow. And this one is the one that had so many villages that needs to grow. That's annoying. I am going to go ahead and not sabotage my own building. I'll sabotage this force, though. And he failed. I'll send another one. Go ahead and make sure that this one... No, he failed as well. Oh, wait, successful mission. Wait, both missions were successful? I just assumed, perhaps, that they were unsuccessful. Anyways, let's go ahead and take the last province. And get the Ottomans done with. Hanover destroyed. Who was fighting Hanover? Spain, it looks like. Oh, lots of stuff being built. I'll take a look at that later. Right now, what I want to do is claim the last province. 900 men lost. 1700 men killed. We'll go ahead and build this up. No cannons needed. This will be built up. This will be repaired. Is there more villages? Yes, there is. Then this will be built out. The school will be torn down. And that's about it. I'll dispatch... You know what? At this point, I could probably dispatch quite a few of these units to try and move up here and aid in holding this down. So 6. If I move... What's this? 7. If I move 7 back, that's enough. So I can move 20 through here, get rid of him, set them up in here. Once this is gone, should be a lot easier to hold this down. Looks good. We'll repair... Yeah, everything will be orderly. Boom. And also here, this force, which previously protected this port, has moved up here. So them I need to move out and crush. 1800 men, out-resolve. We lost 1000, we killed their entire force. Boom. That means that... God damn it, just that one misclick and he didn't have enough to get in. So besides what they have in the capital, they have 1 regiment here and then 1 regiment here. So it's now all kind of concentrated in the capital. I'm pretty sure the Austrians is just about to raid the Thessaloniki port here. So I'm gonna take this unit and move over here. I realized last turn that leaving this one at this very important area was very bad, so now it should be fine. Oh yeah, the cavalry units. Get rid of this guy. 41 men lost, 131 killed. They are forced into Austrian territory. He might as well stay there, the bastard. I'll go ahead and build up the buildings. I'll kill this one, get everything in order. Once we're back, once we come back, unless anything spectacular happens, Kirk Cohen will be laying siege to Istanbul and is going to bring these great cannons with him. Wonderful. This is pretty odd. They've been sending me these trade deals constantly. Now Russia wants to trade away 2/3 of the lands they still hold in exchange for military alliance and 2 technologies. I'm actually going to take this, not because I'm particularly interested in being allies with the Russians, since they're at war with the Swedes and I don't want to go into war with the Swedes. However, what I want to do is I want to take these 2 regions, develop them for Russia, and then hand them back over. So I'm gonna take the deal. Thing is, I'll probably break the alliance pretty soon afterwards anyways. The Ottomans, being rather stupid, have sent most of their forces away from the capital. Here I intercepted a force of close to 4,000 men. I combined 2 of my armies to strike them to make sure the outer assault would go through. 4,000 men lost, 881 for us. The troops will march back, although at this point this region actually controls itself. It is fine. This one, not just yet, but soon enough. Right, I've gone ahead and combined, set up the army, added the huge cannons, will strike against this force, and that'll be it. At least I'll get to test out my cannons. It's worse than I even could have thought. The Ottomans go out to attack an Austrian force, which attacked this winery right here, leaving their capital undefended. They have no troops in the capital right now. I'm going to attack this force right here, and I guess that'll be it, more or less. Or perhaps, you know what, I will, because I won't reach it all the way, I will move towards it, and if there's an opportunity to intercept, I won't take it, and we'll just hope here that the Ottomans come to their senses and move to protect the capital rather than be out here like a bunch of idiots. To facilitate it even more, I'm gonna move the navy so the AI gets the option to move through here, so maybe that allow them to go back towards their capital, if that helps. I'm not sure what to do right now, because I just checked and I've been recording for 1 hour and 44 minutes. So on one hand, the episode definitely needs to come to an end. On another one, I want to use these cannons. And I want to use them in a proper battle, but we're not going to get a proper battle. If I attack up here, we'll get a boring reinforcement battle, which is not going to work out well. So I don't know why they keep moving all the troops away. Now I'm right outside. Hopefully they'll come to their senses and actually march to the aid of their capital. Like, god damn it. Otherwise I'll use the cannons on this. Right. The Austrians give another territory away in exchange for technology. And here we are on the battlefield. We've already gone ahead and bombarded the town, as you can tell. Quite a lot of their houses have been destroyed. What little force they could manage is sitting right in front of the town. I've got the entire army marching up here. But before we go in, we'll give the artillery one more chance to fire into the enemy forces. And I think I selected my general. There we go. I will target this unit with all artillery pieces. Once they've gone ahead and fired, we will then go ahead and order forward the entire army. And you can see the big cannons, as soon as those shots hit the house, they tear it down. And I've tore down quite a few houses in town, as you can see. I think we hit the statue over here. So there's loads of destroyed houses all over the place. And everything's on fire. With that said, I'll order the brigades into the attack. We can't even fit all of them against the enemy force, just because there's so many more of us than there are of them. We just came into musket range with the enemy, more or less, and it's time to order. We got the Royal Highlanders. They're the ones that going in right here in the center. Alright, time to order them to hold. Order the Irish to hold, and order the Lord Gordon regiments to hold. The heavy cavalry is preparing for their attack. Right, it looks like the Ottoman force have waken up. Or woken up, I believe the word is actually. They'll fire pistols as the approaching enemy. Hold your fire and meet the enemy charge. As you might be able to tell, I am now actually gone ahead and named all the squadrons. We got a charge that went in right here. We've got another charge that went in right here. Right, let's see. Highlanders will advance after the enemy. This one, Lord Gordon Regiment, is a little bit hard set, but the enemy is actually being forced back there. All the Highlanders should advance. The enemy is in full retreat. The Irish will advance. The Guards will advance. Culloden Zone and so on. And as soon as this is killed, or this unit is destroyed, then the Lord Gordons will advance as well. The 4th unit here fighting against the volunteer swordmen. Charge after them, and then the entire brigade will advance. The Guard Highland Grenadiers charging down the main road here, charging after the Ottomans that are in full retreat. Meanwhile, I think the cannons, because they aim for enemy cannons first, they've been firing towards this constantly. Gonna order in Henrik's Lions to deal with that on that side. And then the heavy cavalry should be ordered in on this side. And with that, I should order the cannons to hold fire, because we now... Ooh! Okay, so moving up, like once again, the enemy mortars just fired round shot. But here we can clearly see that this unit has been hit by explosive shot and has lost tons of men. Oh, they've rallied! I was about to say they've rallied one unit. It's actually a unit that has... that wasn't in the fight to start with. Right, the heavy cavalry is going in, getting rid of that. Henrik's Lion's going to sweep in on the column of retreating troops. And then we'll be able to deal also with the troops in the back. With that, we won the war against the Ottomans. And we've got victory. And there we go. This was not much of a battle. We lost 651 men and we killed the entire enemy force. And with that, the Ottomans gone. I have probably recorded for about 2 hours at this point, so it's high time to end it here. What I will go ahead and say is that for next time we will prepare for the last showdown, more or less, as we will take on Spain and France at the same time. I'll see if I can ally with Sweden and the Prussians. One victory regions that I forgot about is, of course, that this is not held by France, this is held by the pirates. So I might go ahead and prepare in between. I think most of the battles are going to take place in Europe. However, I think perhaps fighting only in Europe would be too easy, because when I take out all the provinces that each nation has in Europe, all the provinces in the New World will become rebel forces, and I don't have to fight there at all. So maybe, if you think that's too easy, I will sort of try and go ahead and fight both in Europe and in America. With that said, though, it's high time that I end this episode. So I will do that right now. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.